I thought I'd do a flow for hip and hamstrings this afternoon. Our hips are our keepers of our emotional trauma, our unresolved emotional things that we've been through and experienced. And so I thought it'd be really nice to kind of work on the hips, along with the hamstrings, really open up this whole bottom half of the body. And so if you guys want to start by sitting down onto the mat or on your floor, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we'll just take a moment to get settled. You bring your hands to your knees, palms down if you feel like you need some grounding, palms up if you feel like you could use a little bit of boost of energy. And start to tune into your breath as you watch the breath come in and out. Just gently. Begin to notice if you're leaning forward or backwards, and see if you can come back to center. Find a straight, strong spine from the base all the way to the crown. And once you've found that straight spine, I'd like you to begin to breathe, drawing your attention to where your sit bones meet the floor. And so with your attention where your sit bones meet the floor, I'd like you to relax into your glutes, relax into your pelvic bowl and your pelvic floor. See if you can release any tension from your toes through the ankles, through the calves, the knees, and the thighs. If you find any tense spots, send your breath to that space. Drawing your attention up through your hip creases and around your entire leg. Allowing the hips to melt into the floor beneath you. Still breathing as you begin to relax into your belly, relaxing into the bottoms of your rib cage, your lungs, your chest cavity begins to become easy, just as your breath is easy. Watch your awareness wrap up your spine, allowing each one of the vertebrae and the spaces in between to melt and relax. You draw maybe your shoulders up into the ears and then gently let them roll down, back and away from the ears, melting all of the tension away. From your shoulder, through your forearms, and everything in between, all the way down to the fingertips. As you bring your attention to your throat, relaxing the muscles within your throat, relaxing the jaw, peeling your tongue off the roof of your mouth, relaxing your cheekbones, your nose, your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows, your third eye. Relaxing your ears, and finally the crown of your head. As you allow the stillness, the presence, the awareness of your body to melt over your entire being. Just noticing the breath gently in and out. Drawing both hands to heart center, gently bowing your chin into your chest, taking a moment of gratitude that you get to take this time and space for you. Beginning to the sound of Om, you inhale all the air in, exhale, let it out. Inhale halfway for Om. As you inhale, bring your prayer hands to the sky. And as you exhale, fingertips spread wide, clear the space, your aura, the energy around you with your fingertips. Sweep it down, bring the fingertips all the way down to Mother Earth, and give back anything you don't need to her. And again, inhale, hands through heart center, drawing the energy up and through the crown of the head. Exhaling, spreading the fingertips wide. Fingertips eventually find the floor. Take your time. Clear your energetic space. One last time with some gratitude. Inhale, sweep the energy up and through all the way to the crown of the head. Exhale, spread the fingers wide all the way down to the earth. Clearing your space, clearing your energy, making it a clean slate for your practice. And then keeping your right hand grounded, lift your left hand up and over the left side of your body, just coming into a gentle side stretch. Let your hips be square, both sit bones on the floor. Twist, turn your chest towards the sky. Inhale, find some space with the fingertips. Exhale as you begin to drag the fingertips down to the left. Inhale, come back up to center, hands meet, and then exhale, left hand down, right hand comes up and over. Inhale as you find some space. Exhale as you begin to drag the fingertips away from you. Keeping the hips on the floor, just peeling the chest up to the sky, finding an early side body stretch. Inhale, come back up through center, reach both hands wide. Exhale, fingertips find the floor, walk the fingertips away from you. Keep the hips on the floor and let the forehead sink, melt into the mat. Keep inhaling and exhaling through the nose as you gently walk the fingertips back towards you. Take a moment back at center, and then come onto the hands and the knees. So turning around to your hands and your knees, digging your toes underneath right away, sitting your seat back to your feet, and then lifting the hips up into the air. First downward facing dog pretty early. And in this downward facing dog, fingertips spread wide, pressing the heart towards the thighs, pedaling out the legs, moving the hips as you see fit. Letting the head be neutral. Just giving yourself a little bit of space, a little bit of movement here to get you started. Inhale, reach the right leg up, and then bring the right foot to cross behind the left. Keep the hands exactly how they are and just shift the hips to the left side. You're going to pull your belly in and breathe into your right side body. Inhale as you come back up through center. Right foot plants down. Left foot lifts up. And then left foot crosses behind the right as you scoot your hips to the right side, stretching out your left side body. Pulling the belly in, breathing, noticing where you feel the stretch in the hamstrings and the side body. Inhale, moving back through center, left leg comes up and then back down to the mat, pedaling out the feet. One more time, downward facing dog. Pulling the belly in, letting the heart drop towards the thighs. If your heels don't reach, that's okay, bend your knees. And from here, walk the hands to the feet. And then roll up one vertebrae at a time, letting the head dangle on the way up. Reset as you find your center. Roll the shoulders down, back and away from the ears. Arms down by the side. Just relax here. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Reach high and long. Exhale as you fold forward at the waist. Inhale as you look up, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, hands come down, walk the hands out. You find your first plank position. Heels over toes, shoulders dome to the sky, fingertips spread wide, belly's in nice and strong. If you can't do a push-up, you can always drop to your knees, rock the weight forward. Elbows are in for a chatter on the push-up. Inhale, you move through an upward facing dog or a cobra. Upward facing dog, shoulders away from the ears, thighs off the mat, tops of the feet press onto the mat. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Find your downward facing dog, and from here, inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky, then the right knee into the chest, and then gently land the right foot underneath the heart. I want you to flatten your back foot, drag your hands towards you, flat feet, straight legs, hands to hips. Come on up. Square your hips off to the top of the mat. Right hand to your hip, left arm reaches high. If you need some help, you can always use a block or a water bottle. Inhale. And then exhale with a flat back and straight legs. You're going to hinge forward at the waist. And so wherever it lands, shin, foot, floor, block. Take a couple breaths. Inhale as you draw space through the crown of your head. Exhale as maybe you hinge a little bit further. Make sure you're firmly rooted into all four corners of your feet, pulling up on your kneecaps and quads to keep you lifted and strong. Maybe as you inhale, find space. As you exhale, bring the left hand to the mat or the floor, and then begin to twist to the right side. Belly is in strong. Try to keep your head on straight. If your shoulders stack, feel free to raise your hand. If not, just let the twist reach down. Slowly let the right hand come back down to the mat. Hands come back to the hips, ground into the outer edges of the feet, come back up. And then pick up your toes, pivot on the heels, face the side. And then face the other edge of your mat. Square your hips off to the mat. Hands on the hips, right hand to the hip, left arm reaches up to the sky. Inhale as you lift and reach. And exhale as you fold forward at the waist. Right hand should be forward. Grounding into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, grow tall through the crown. Exhale, hinge forward. Feel your hamstrings starting to wake up. Last breath here. And then inhale, exhale as you begin to twist towards the side. Last breath here. Left hand back down to the mat, ground into the outer edges of your feet. Inhale, come back up. Good. Pivot towards the side. Now you're wide-legged. Maybe make it a little bit wider to make it a little easier. Inhale as you go tall through the crown of your head. Exhale as you hinge forward at the waist. Flat back, straight legs. Fingertips can find the floor to help you first. Inhale as you grow long and tall through the crown of your head. Exhale as you press the heart towards the floor. Again, inhale, maybe extend the fingertips out in front of you. Exhale, hinge forward at the waist, chest down. Last breath here. So your hamstrings are one of the toughest muscle groups to open up. They're really big and strong, so it takes a couple of extra breaths and a little bit of extra care to really start to get to open them up. Inhale, walk the fingertips back towards you. Hands come to your hips, ground into the outer edges of your feet, come back up. Pivot back towards the front of your mat where you started. Back foot is flat at a 45-degree angle. Front foot is facing towards the front. You're going to come into a warrior one. So grounding into the back foot. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Maybe you have to make your stance a little bit wider. Good. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, sit a little lower. Stretching out the back calf here as your heel is grounded. Inhale, exhale, hands down through prayer. Inhale, exhale, hop the left foot up to meet the right. Feet together at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down low. Inhale, hands up, straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, sit low. Stay low this time. Belly's in strong. Inhale, reach to the crown. Exhale, right elbow, left elbow on right knee. Try to keep your knees in one line. Try to keep the outer edges of your feet pushed and grounded into the mat. See if you can engage your inner thighs. Pull up on your pelvic floor. Inhale as you come back up through center, reach and lift, arms extend, legs extend. Exhale, back into chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Belly's in strong, inner thighs engaged, 2 knees in one line, 2 feet in one line, feet are together. Inhale, move back up through center, extend the arms, extend the legs. Exhale, fold forward, over the feet, arms sweep down. You can come up onto the fingertips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. So your feet are together. Try to ground into all 4 corners of the feet. Try to keep your hips over the heels. One straight line. Try not to lean back. Belly's in. You can let your heads angle. Inhale, halfway look up. You can bend your knees on the way up. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top. Exhale, step the right foot back. It'll land behind you in a 45-degree angle. Your front left knee will be bent. Knee over ankle in the front, warrior one. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, sit low. See if you can square off your hips to the top of your mat. You should feel a stretch down the back side of your leg, using a little bit of your strength in your front quad. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, straighten into the front leg, pivot on the toes, face the front, outer edges of the feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach forward. Again, here we are in forward fold. Take inventory. How do you feel? So from here, I want you to take an inhale, half lift. And then you're going to turn your left foot out just a little bit and bend into the right knee. So you're going to come down squatting on one side, Skandasana. So you get a little bit more space. You can move the heel away from you. And so you can stay here. You're welcome to open up. You're welcome to bind if you have it in your practice. You bring the right arm behind you and sweep the left arm up. Get the right hand to grab the left hand. Flexing your toes on the left foot towards your face. And all the while, you're still breathing. And then I want you to walk the fingertips, lift the hips, turn out the right foot, left foot comes straight. Skandasana, the other side. Flex the right toes towards the sky. Down on the heel. If this is too much, you can always keep your hips lifted to the best of your ability. Origin hamstrings and hips at the same time. Again, if you want to wrap, reach the left arm forward. You can walk it behind you, flip the palm up. It'll go on your back. Right arm around, left hand to right wrist. And then twist towards the sky. Or you can stay where you are, no pressure. Good, last breath, inhale. Exhale out of the nose. And inhale, I want you to come back up through center, walk the hands. We're gonna move right and left, get some fluid movement in the hips. Right and left, right and left. And then you're gonna end up in the center. Turn both toes towards the top of your mat, outer edges of your feet. One more time, here we are. You should feel a little bit more open now. Inhale, exhale, fold, hinge. If you have a headstand in your practice and you want to go into it, feel free. Still ground into the outer edges of your feet. Pulling your belly in. Inhale, find some space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back up through center. I want you to tiptoe, feet, heels in, toes out to about a little bit wider in the hips width distance, and then you're going to come down into a squatting yogi. So squatting yogi here, heels and toes out. If this is too much, again, you can come hips up instead. Use your elbows to press on the inner thighs. Hands come together in prayer. Breathe here. And so your hips are your storage for your unprocessed emotions. Giving your hips a little bit of extra love will help you move through whatever it is that you're feeling at this time. Whatever the collective is feeling. We do these practices individually to help the collective rise, to help the collective deal with the emotional turbulence that they might be feeling, and to do our part to stay centered and grounded, even though the world around us might not be that way. Good, last breath here, inhale. Exhale, hips down, crown high, reach to the crown of your head. Maybe push your elbows a little bit more. And slowly bring the hands down. And then if you can, sit back onto your hips. We're gonna turn to face the front. So heels out, you move the flesh out from underneath you. Inhale as you reach and lift to the crown. Exhale as you lead with your heart. Hands can come to the outer edges of your feet. So if you're bookending your feet, if your feet look like a V, I want you to try and open them up. And you'll feel it all throughout the hamstring. Inhale, exhale. You might not be able to go as deep, but I'd rather you have a flat back, and you'd rather feel it through the legs than trying to go head to the toes. Inhale as you move back up through center. You can shake the legs out. And then I want you to bring, the left leg is going to bend in, and the right leg you're going to cradle like a baby. So right arm around the knee, left arm around the foot, and if you can, start to cradle, rock back and forth, open up the hips. You can feel free to stay here and just breathe. Maybe you find a spot. You think about grounding into your hips and growing tall through the crown, and let it feel your stretch all through the hips and all through the back of the legs. If you'd like to go further, you can take the outer edge of the right foot with your right hand. And you can think about moving the knee towards the back of the room. If you want to go further, take the right hand, leave it underneath. You want to get your shoulder and your knee on top of one another. Maybe that's enough for you. If you want to go further, right hand can come down to support you. You can flex your toes, straighten the right leg, and maybe point. Wherever you are, keep breathing. It's all optional, right? Slowly let the right foot come back to the floor. And release the right arm if you've been up there. Shake it out. And then right foot comes in. And then you're going to cradle your left leg like a baby. So left hand to the knee. Right hand comes around. You can stay here. Instead of collapsing in on yourself, I want you to think about lifting through the crown, finding space. You should automatically feel this pull even more. And you should never feel like it hurts. Maybe a little bit of stretching or a tiny bit of discomfort, but you listen to your body when you do these practices. That's how you honor your boundaries and yourself. Again, if you all want to go a little bit further, please stay here by all means. If not, you can bring the foot to the back of the shoulder, take the opposite hand, which is the right hand, onto the outer edge of the left foot, maybe straighten into the left, maybe point. Maybe look up. Keep breathing wherever you are. If you're in the full expression of compass, come out. Slowly let it come back down. Shake out the legs. Shake out the hands. And then you're going to take the bottoms of your feet to come together. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Inhale as you lift, and then exhale, fold forward. Don't feel like you need to have your head on your feet. Just want you to feel the inner thighs and the hips. Keep breathing in and out of the nose. And if you've accumulated any tension in your mouth, in your jaw, and your lips, if your tongue's on the roof of your mouth, let it peel off. And let your knees splay. And really just ground into being on the floor. One more inhale, grow long through the crown. Exhale, hinge. Slowly walk the fingertips back up. Take the outer edges of the knees to the hands. Use the hands to help the knees. Nice deep inhale. And give yourself a little hug. So we're gonna really gentle twist. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, left arm up, and then you're just gonna twist to the right. So this is more about the belly, pulling the belly up and in, growing tall through the crown of your head, shoulder melts away. Last breath, inhale. Come back up through center, arms can reach. Exhale, left arm behind you, right elbow to the knee. Keep the knees in one line. Just use the traction from your elbow to twist around your spine. Twist around the center. Good. As you come back through center, going to turn. This is more comfortable, and gently come onto your back. Maybe give yourself a couple of rolls. Maybe you'll get a crack or two. And then slowly land on your back, happy baby. Outer hands to the outer edges of your feet. You can feel free to stay as you are. You can feel free to straighten one leg then the other. You could rock and roll. You could roll on your sacrum. Still breathing here. Whatever feels good for you is exactly what you need. Slowly begin to close the knees. Bring the feet down to the mat and the knees up. I'm going to have you cross your right leg up and over your bent left leg. From here, you're going to walk the left foot off the edge of your mat and then draw both of your knees to the right. Try to keep your shoulders on the mat. You can extend the arms. There should be a straight line of energy from your shoulder to your hip to your knee. Inhale, gently return the foot back to the floor. Scooch the foot back to center. Keep your figure four shape. Take your right hand, bring it through the figure four shape, lifting the left leg up. You're going to either clasp underneath the hamstring or onto the shin, using your right elbow to press the right knee away. Really breathe into the hips, into the glutes. And then slowly, as you allow yourself to release the right leg down. You can windshield wiper the knees. And come back to center, feet down, knees up. Left knee crosses over the right, or the left foot crosses over the right. And then you're going to take the right foot, scooch it off the edge of your mat, and then draw both of your knees to the left. And extend your arms. Try to keep your hips relatively square. Don't put too much tension on your knee. And breathe. Last breath here. Inhale, move back up through center, really gentle. Walk the right foot back to the center of the mat. Take your left hand, thread it through the figure four shape. Interlace the fingers on the shin or underneath the thigh, and then you want to use the left elbow to press the left knee away. Both shoulders stay on the mat. See if you can relax your face again. Don't worry, you're doing it right. Really breathe into the glutes. Inhale, gently let your weight come back down to the mat. Release both legs. Walk both feet out to either side of the mat and draw the knees in towards one another. And so the outer edges of your feet will peel off the mat. Be super gentle with your knees here. Inhale, exhale, let it go. And then really gently come back through center. If there's any last minute movements you feel like you need to make, go for it. Otherwise, walk the feet out, walk the head, and find your savasana. Arms down, legs down. Take up as much space as you can. And so that was your hip opening and hamstring flow for this afternoon. Feel free to stay in your savasana for as long as you need. Again, if anything comes up from the release and a blockage of energy in the hips, let it come up and through. You don't have to hold on to it. You don't have to figure out why. You can just trust that whatever needs to come up now and always is exactly what's supposed to be coming up for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And a couple of you asked if you could contribute. So I have a Venmo and a PayPal. There's a link in my bio on Instagram, and there's the link in the video for the Facebook, but absolutely no pressure. I hope this video finds you well. Stay grounded, stay centered. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.